For 1 month, every 4 years, something incredible happens. Billions of people, from the biggest cities to the smallest villages, all lose their minds over a soccer ball. Productivity takes a nosedive, sleep schedules are thrown out the window, and you'll see grown adults openly weeping on the street. This isn't some weird cosmic event. It's the World Cup. It's a phenomenon that turns otherwise rational people into a single global tribe of screaming, crying, completely obsessed fans. But what's actually going on here? This isn't just about sports. This is about our brains, our primal need to belong, and the very core of human psychology. Let's break down what this beautiful madness really does to us. Forget the action on the field for a moment. The real game is happening inside your own body. One famous study in the New England Journal of Medicine looked at German fans during the 2006 World Cup. It found that on days when their team played, the risk of a cardiac emergency was 2.66 times higher for people with known coronary artery disease. Another study, published in the British Medical Journal, looked at what happened when England lost a devastating penalty shootout to Argentina in 1998. Over the 3-day period that included the match and the 2 days after, hospital admissions for heart attacks jumped by 25%. That feeling that the game is life or death, your heart is taking it literally. This isn't just an emotional ride, it's a physical one. So why do we put ourselves through this agony and ecstasy? It all starts with one of the most powerful drivers of human behavior, the need to belong. We're wired to be social creatures. Psychologists Henry Tajfel and John Turner developed what's called social identity theory to explain this. The idea is that our sense of self comes not just from our individual identity, but from the groups we're a part of. Most of the time, that's your family, your friends, or your workplace. But during the World Cup, one identity drowns out all the others, your national one. All of a sudden, it's not just 11 players out there, it's us. It's our flag, our anthem, our shared story playing out in a 90-minute battle. This creates a profound sense of unity. Research often shows that being a committed sports fan is linked with lower levels of loneliness and higher self-esteem. It's a shared language that can cut across divides of age, class, and politics. In a world that often feels disconnected, the World Cup gives us a rare chance to feel part of something bigger than ourselves. This intense connection is why a win feels like a personal triumph and a loss feels like a punch to the gut. It's not just the team that's succeeding or failing, our tribe is, and by extension, so are we. Your self-worth can genuinely rise and fall with every goal. That deep psychological bond is the engine driving the entire World Cup frenzy. If you've ever been in a fan zone or at a match and found yourself doing something you'd never do alone, maybe it's painting your face, screaming yourself hoarse for 2 hours, or hugging a total stranger, then you've felt the power of de-individuation. The term was first introduced by psychologist Leon Festinger and his colleagues, and later expanded on by others like Philip Zimbardo. It describes how being in a large group can make our sense of individual identity and self-consciousness just fade away. When you're one face in a sea of thousands, all wearing the same colors, you feel anonymous. The normal social rules that might make you feel embarrassed or reserved simply vanish. And that's not always a bad thing. It's the magic ingredient behind the incredible atmosphere of a live game. The perfectly timed chants, the stadium-wide celebrations, that feeling of being one living, breathing organism that roars with every play. Public viewing areas are designed specifically to crank this feeling up to 11, turning a simple match into a powerful, shared ritual. But this loss of self-awareness is also why crowd behavior can sometimes turn dark. The same anonymity that fuels pure joy can also lower our sense of personal responsibility. For better or worse, the group's norms become your norms, and you start acting not as an individual, but as a member of the tribe. The psychological ups and downs of being a fan are so consistent, they actually have names: berging and corfing. Berging stands for basking in reflected glory. When your team wins, you don't say, "they played well." You say, "we won." Studies show that fans are more likely to wear their team's colors the day after a big win. It's a subconscious way to align yourself with success and give your own self-esteem a little boost. Your brain even rewards you with a hit of dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Some research has also found that testosterone levels in male fans can rise after a victory, following the same winner-loser pattern seen in the players on the field. It feels good because, on a chemical level, it is good. Then there's the flip side, corfing, or cutting off reflected failure. When the team loses, notice how the language shifts. Suddenly, it's "they lost," "they were awful," "the referee was terrible." This is a brilliant psychological defense mechanism. By pushing the failure away, we protect our ego. Instead of basking, we're shielding. For the most passionate fans who can't just disconnect, this often comes out as blaming anything and everything else: the coach, the weather, bad luck, to avoid criticizing the team, which would feel like criticizing themselves. This cycle of berging and corfing is the blueprint for the wild mood swings that define the fan experience. This emotional journey is intense, and we've all been there. So, what's the most extreme thing you've ever done or felt while watching a World Cup match? That moment of pure joy or absolute heartbreak? Share your story in the comments below. And if you find the psychology of the fan as fascinating as I do, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. For a month, the World Cup doesn't just get in our heads, it rearranges our entire lives. First, there's your schedule. With games broadcast across every time zone, sleep is often the first thing to go. A 3 a.m. kickoff? For a dedicated fan, that's not even a question. But that sleep deprivation, mixed with the emotional stress of the game, can take a real toll on your mood and focus. Then, there's your wallet. Being a fan isn't cheap. From jerseys and memorabilia to streaming subscriptions and bigger bar tabs, the tournament drives a huge wave of spending. In the lead-up to the 2026 World Cup, for example, projections suggested an economic impact of up to $4 billion in just 4 U.S. host cities. It's also common to see a massive spike in hotel prices. In some host cities for 2026, rates have reportedly jumped by over 300%. And what about your relationships? Fandom can be an amazing way to bond with friends and family who share your passion, but it can also cause real conflict. One survey suggested that for a notable number of Gen Z daters, supporting rival teams could even be a deal breaker. The emotional hangover from a brutal loss can easily spill over into our personal lives, affecting how we treat the people we love. Finally, there's your health. Beyond the serious risks to your heart, the World Cup lifestyle often means more alcohol and a diet of snacks and takeout. It's the perfect storm of high stress, low sleep, and unhealthy habits, all in the name of the beautiful game. So, after all of that, the hijacked brains, the hormonal spikes, the stressed out hearts, and the empty wallets. Is it actually worth it? The World Cup frenzy tells us something deep about who we are. The tournament has become a modern, global ritual that feeds some of our most basic human needs: the need for a strong identity, for a sense of community, and for moments of pure, unfiltered emotional release. It's a shared experience in a world that often feels divided. It gives billions of people a common story to follow, even if they're all hoping for a different ending. The passion, the craziness, the frenzy. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's what happens when a sport taps directly into the core of who we are as tribal, emotional, and social beings. The World Cup is so much more than just a game. It's a month-long, planet-wide exploration of what it means to be human.